Good morning, and we are live. It is 25th of July. I made a little mistake in my Telegram message this morning saying June. I'm not living that much in the past, but it was June flew by, and actually we are almost at the end of July already. So thanks, Jos, for suggesting this edit. Um, we are live. We are going to check the markets very quickly. I want to do this weekly call in a bit of a short time frame. So we are going to just go top to bottom on the 1 hour time frame for all the forex pairs. Maybe very shortly look to some trades from last week, but mainly just going over all the pairs and continuing. It's the last week of the month, therefore we need to make sure that we are maybe looking out for some reverse trading on Friday. It's the last Friday of the month, and also the last day of the month, so that's a combination. So I will try to avoid trading this Friday, maybe a bit in the early morning. But basically, in the first 4 days of this week, there should be a couple of great opportunities, and we are going to look at the, as I said, 1 hour time frame. It's small swings, especially if you have only 4 days of this week to go and 4 days, 5 days of this month to go. We had a bit of an idea here that I'm going to remove because we want to mainly talk about where we are right now. We are in between the major and the minor trend line to a space actually where I mostly don't really trade. So we are trying to catch this kind of waves for people who are looking at this for the first time. You are seeing the infinity trading tools, 3 different lines: major trend, minor trend, and entry line. You also see here the infinity box. If they are all red and CCI at that moment is in a good minus, we are selling. If everything is green, we are buying. That's basically how simple it is. We also see the pivot levels being painted from the past and the current levels here. So we are a bit above pivot level, which indicates that we are more in an uptrend than into a downtrend, but we are below the major trend line. If it would have broken here, retested on Friday, and found some support on the major trend line, we could have gone up quite a while, but it was the Friday. It went very slowly below, and now we are stuck in between those two lines. So that's a little bit of theory, but there's nothing on NZD USD that I would directly do. We had a trade hitting take profit about a week ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So it was a more like not last week, but the week before. A nice rise after here activating and then going up. One of my coaching sessions now removing all the drawings. I really like to clean up, and looking at the chart for now. For now, we are seeing major trend, minor trend are up, but also here we are in the middle of those two. Entry line currently red, so we wouldn't even buy, and CCI tells us we are short term falling. We have more sellers than buyers. If it's below zero, there is more sellers active at this moment. You guys see I don't have CCI on the bottom here anymore because it is nice to add it, but my all my subscriptions once a year, all my subscriptions passed. So basically, I'm really happy that I renewed everything and I have all the functions of TradingView Premium again, and so also all kinds of other subscriptions that were all expired, all at the same time in July. And if you do all your subscriptions always on a yearly basis and you do most of them at the same period, then the issue is that you also have all of them expired at the same time. So, all right. NZD CAT, here we had two breakouts. We had a breakout to the bottom or a breakout to the top. Actually, it broke out to the top. These are just a bit of drawings that I'm doing during the daily coaching sessions where I try to find trades together with people. that I'm still doing till the end of the year. We are mainly sold out, and I say mainly because I found a few Thursdays where I actually had a reservation for a Zoom call that was just 30 minutes within the trading session. So there are a few Thursdays that potentially are an option for people to still book. So I'm going to probably release them a little bit later. But we are mainly sold out till the end of the year. But during those calls, we are looking into trades. What are we doing here? We are selling up to 14th of July, and now we are slowly going up. Found a lot of resistance here on the major trend line. So as you see here, the bodies didn't really close above 1, 2, 3 hits, and the market's going down again. So sometimes we have this drop, pullback, drop. This is a bigger pullback from the top here, and if the market is able to fully resist here, we are now below pivot level. This market can drop again, and then here below the cloud, I would be thinking about selling again, which is something that maybe only goes like this towards the old pivot level. So this pivot level is very special because you don't only see the pivot levels as they are today, but you also see the pivot levels of where they were up to 1,000 candles ago. Candles ago. So we can see pretty far back into the past here, all the way up to the start of this whole trend, 26th of May. Plus, you can also see very nicely here the trend. We go down, we make a pullback, we make a lower high, we go down, we have a bit of a sideways move, then we have a bit of a pullback, and now we have potentially another really nice ride like this, going deeper on NZD CAD. First level I would go for is somewhere here, the red resistance level, and then here the ultimate support level going down. So I'm gonna mark this at the red dot for keeping an eye on it later. What you can also do here is you can put a horizontal line with Alt H. Then you can put an alert on the horizontal line, NZD cat crossing the horizontal line, potential sell. Create the alert, and now when the price is actually crossing this line, we will be getting an alert. So check the chart. It doesn't mean I'm straight going in. I'm just going to check the chart to see if there's going to be an option. AUD USD, sometimes I like to turn off those pivot levels to have a little bit more of a clear graph, because I mostly use them to determine my take profits. So basically, you only really need them when you are going to choose to go in. Now here also extreme long sell, basically the ultimate levels here below, shift click towards the start here, crossing the major trend line, 447 pips over 34 days. So really, really long drop. As you see, multiple arrows we have been selling here, just removing them. But at this moment, there's a pullback, and that pullback looked like pretty serious because it crossed the major trend line. The minor trend line already switched to up. And if we would normally, what we see here is that the market moves up, it finds support, and then it goes towards the new trend. The major trend line turns green, and we are in a ride on the upside. We are going to buy. Now, at this moment, it's below that level, and it's also in between those two. So it's very annoying in the case that we need to wait for it to be below there to be able to think about selling again. And then you need those pivot levels to say, like, okay, where can we go? We can go there, or we can go there even. So it did not really this is break, retest, fly. It didn't really do that, so that means that if we are below pivot level and we start to really turn around, we potentially can sell the AUD USD. So if I need to give it a color, I would say there is a red color. You can also make it orange or any other color that you like to say like, oh, I don't know, but I have here made some drawings. So I'm mostly using red for selling, green for buying, and maybe blue for trades that I'm actually in. And then you can make it orange or this blue or whatever what you like to say like, hey, I don't know yet what it's gonna be, but I want to keep an eye on it, for example. So I'm gonna make it red because I expect more of a sell. I'm not gonna buy this right now. There's too much insecurity here below the major trend line. So I'm not gonna buy it. I'm potentially selling it. Also here you can make a horizontal line again and a alert. Then what we have here, we had a potential pending order on the rise of AUD CAD that would have been activated here on Thursday night, but it didn't because I always keep my pending orders for just a day. So AUD CAD would be a little bit blue right now, still not that much. So I'm gonna just delete all those drawings, or some drawings from the past as well. So here we see also downtrend drop, a little bit of pullback, a lot of resistance. So yeah, resistance, sorry, resistance here on the minor trend line, drop again, finding a lot of support here on this level, which if you can draw the line manually, but if you look to pivot levels, it's probably a pretty clear level as well. Not really, actually. It should be. The level is probably this level, and if you then turn off the pivot levels again, you see like it's just been trying to be below that level, but that's an official pivot support level. It bounced off there 1, 2, 3 times, some news, and then the third time, and then it moved up. But the problem is it also found some resistance here. So here it found support, here it found resistance, here it found it again, then it broke through and it's currently on the top of it, but it also spiked below it again tonight. So if you look at this here, this I would call finding a resistance level, and then here and again resistance, but then this is the breakthrough. Then it needs to find support, which it went quite deep after it, but it's still on the right side, so you can say like this is the break, this is the support, and then we can go up. So that would be a change of trend for the AUD CAD to start to rise a bit. It will really depend on the other AUD pairs and how weak the Canadian dollar is gonna act in the upcoming week. So I would not really directly put any color on this. If you need to technically say what would this be, we potentially have a buy, but I'm not sure. Made a little bit of money here, 26 pips on the AUD NZD. Nice ride on Thursday, deleting the drawings. And as you see here, we are all green except the entry line at this moment. Entry line will be green when we come out of the cloud. So this would be a trade that we can say like somewhere here for the short term, we can buy. And if we zoom out a bit, the question is where can we go after? It would potentially be this +3 level, or here, that's a resistance 6, strong resistance 6. Horizontal line, take profit 1, take profit 2, if it actually breaks that level, because here we had some wicks, so you really need to watch out. Sometimes take the body of those candles, which are the wicks there, as your take profit, because it might be just enough to buy this first part, and this first part would then be about 10 pips, so it's actually a short trade. If it breaks that level, we can go up. and then you can have a little bit more, trade up to about 30 pips to the upside. So all of them were red, by the way. This one should have been green because we were buying, but with the basic subscription of TradingView, you can only put red color. So this one was green for the last week already. And I would say it's green again, but only when we are going above strong resistance, or potentially even I would wait for this level to break, make a new high, and then start to take this 30 pips to the upside. Pivot levels, of course, need to expand there before taking a buy, but everything here looks pretty good. CCI tells us there's more buyers this morning than sellers. Not that much. If this number goes over 100, the buyers have better. They are basically alone. There's almost no sellers present. If it goes up to 200, then all the buyers are there. It will stay a buyer's market till we are all the way back on zero. So that's for your information. Really, really good. So CCI going up is meaning the buyers are getting stronger, but as long as it's above zero, the buyers are there and basically winning. Above plus 100, they are winning. Between 0 and 100, they are fighting. Below zero, the sellers take the hand. So that's the difference. So sometimes people say like, oh, if CCI is 150, do you still want to go in? Basically, it's kind of just jumping on with the other buyers, and it cannot be a bad idea. Cannot be a bad idea. Then just keep an eye on it, that if the buyers are still strong enough to keep pushing it, because when it starts to go down a bit, it doesn't mean that the price already goes down. Price can still go up, but very, very slowly. So that's about that. AUD/JPY, here again in between minor and major trend. Cloud coming down here. If this market actually wants to continue upwards, then I would only look at it somewhere tomorrow or Wednesday, and I would look to something like this. You can also go for the high here or for the pivot level there. If it gives this extra pivot level, then there's interesting level here. You see the pivot level just jumped up for a bit for only the Friday, came down to the same level. So those pivot levels are pretty strong. This was just a very short, yeah, let's say that there was a bit of activity here on the buyer side, so it moved up temporarily for one day. But the ultimate resistance still here on 95,313, and we can go up to 96,121 if we want AUD/JPY to grow. So now you see AUD towards Asia is on the positive side, AUD CAD a bit doubtful, AUD USD for the drop. Then we are gonna check the other pairs, and then you can make some combinations to see how it's going. Greetings from Reno. Nice to see you here as well. Jos, it's better that you do all your subscriptions on Black Friday. Yeah, I understand there's a lot of Black Friday sales indeed. And then every Black Friday, you need to put yourself an administrative day to upgrade everything again. So that's a very good tip, Jos. Another tip that I can give to you guys, especially if you're new to TradingView, is to first subscribe for a month. Check out if you need all the functions, or when you do need all the functions, you can get 6 months free. So it's a TradingView offer to pay 6 months, and the other 6 months are free. So then you pay for a year, but the price for a premium goes down to about $25. And I would really, really recommend premium for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons is the different split into, they have even some new things now. So this 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't even exactly know what that means, but 7 is new. But basically, there's all kinds of different layouts that you can do. You can then sync them. So if you're moving them, that they're all at the same place. That's one of the things. Of course, you can put all your layouts. You can put multiple indicators. So for example, if I want to see the CCI, I can add the CCI here, and that's possible because now this is number 4. So you do need that if you want to have some more things. There's a new CCI tool coming from me as well, probably actually this week, finishing up some work. I'm going to put CCI code. I'm putting it on the to-do list right now. That was one of the things that I wanted to do. And yeah, before we go to Europe sessions. Okay, a short message from the wifey. They had a good night as well, so that is very important. They are still at the seaside for a little holiday for 4 or 5 days, and I'm back here at work, and that's why I'm saying I probably finish my CCI indicator because I have some time to code in the coming 4 days. So that's very good. Okay, Euro AUD. This is a very interesting one. Major trend, minor trend are down. Entry line is currently telling us there is a pullback. It's green, potentially going to turn red very soon. CCI still positive 60, but we see a couple of red candles right now. I really, really like when it's kind of catched in the cloud or just under the cloud here. Let me remove those. Oh, this is hide drawings. Look, guys, there's already again so much more new functions in so it's like hide positions orders, hide drawings, so hide the indicators for a minute, show them back again. Like the trading view, what I really like is that it's still under development. It's still getting to better. It's becoming better all the time. It's becoming better. So there's new things. They're listening to the community, and yeah, I really like that a lot. Okay, going down here, CCI dropping. I want that CCI to be red before I would enter, but this is a very, very, very interesting take profit 1 and take profit 2 if you use the bodies there. Don't always go for ultimate support. Always go 1, 2, 3 pips above it, depending on how big you're trading. And if here, for example, it spiked through effectively on Friday, you can go for it today as well. But as like this, I would always use the bodies or the wicks, like what you want. But I personally like to use those bodies here to see if the market actually wants to go down. Now it's red right now. This is actually really, really nice. 47.50 pips for the first part, and this is about 100 pips. And as you see on Friday, this can just happen in one day. So this can go and drop anytime right now. And this is like fingers on the trigger, 100 pips, guys. It can be all you need. It can literally be all you need. If you want a stop loss, put it like super tiny here, close, or even here. Um, for that, risk reward is just absolutely insane. So if you would enter here and your stop loss is here, you have about 17, 18 pip stop loss, or maybe a bit here. So you have a tight stop loss for if it goes through the cloud and you don't want to get stopped out straight away. It's below pivot level or being or wanting below pivot level. This might be the trade of the day, trade of the week. Like if you can catch 100 pips on this one trade, then that's all you needed for this whole week. For yeah, it's amazing, 100 pips. So Euro AUD, like whatever color we want to give this, orange, pink, like very, very clear color, to say like, hey, watch this because this is potentially going to drop, and I don't want to miss it myself. Here we expected to pull back before the drop, and it didn't. So of course we also have that sometimes. remove the drawings from the past. This pair actually has the same. It's just not below pivot level, so that's a little bit better from Euro AUD. The levels here also 100 pips. I already get a message from Michael, whose coaching session starts in 1 minute. So we need to go quick and wrap it up. But the Euro AUD amazing, and Euro NZD here, guys. Just wait for it to be below pivot level. And then we have also here a good 100 pips. Like, this is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Here, wait for below pivot level. You can wait for the entry line to be red. It goes pretty quickly after one or two good red candles. So maybe one or two more good red candles. And then we will basically see a red entry line. So CCI here just needs to become negative, which can go very quickly as well. Euro NZD exactly the same. So those two guys, I will make them blue, like light blue, just for myself to say, like, those can be the absolute trades of the week. Now, if I would not be on a trading session, what I would do here, for example, is split screen, go analyze more on a second one, or actually I have 4 screens here, so I can put Euro AUD on another part. So I would basically do like something like this, go again, and just drag this Euro AUD chart, drag it to one of my other screens. So I can keep an eye on this, because this can be a really interesting activity. You guys can still see the screen, okay. CCI dropping, as you guys can see. So when that's getting negative, this is a very interesting trade. Euro NZD the same. Euro CAD, not really. Major trend, minor trend down as well. Are they going to have shortcuts for this? This would be really cool. If you have a shortcut to temporarily hide your indicators. But anyway, here, pivot tool. We only want to hide one here, so we need to do that manually. Drop very aggressively, also till 13th of July, then a little bit back, making a couple of moves here, but pretty much sideways. So for EuroCAD here also, I had a potential sell to continue, but it's all a bit from the past. So no trade here. Euro dollar also long trend till 14th of July, and then a turnaround. Of course, this was also fundamental levels that it's something that we that I want to basically not trade right now between major and minor trend. But here we had those fundamental levels, the 1.00000 reached a couple of times, of course, a very strong support level, spiked through 0.995, and then went back up, and then traded quite higher to 2% higher basically here. Found a bit of a stable level here at 277, and now it's hanging. So I would say this is kind of sideways for the last 4 days. I have no idea if this is gonna drop one more time. As I said, a lot of fundamental choices on euro, dollar, and gold. A lot of fundamental traders have their opinions about if it should go. I heard people saying, and good traders saying, if it goes below 1 and it stays there for too long, we can have that much economical problems that it can unleash even world wars and stuff like that. And I completely understand their fundamental choices. But technical analysis showed us keep selling, keep selling, keep selling, keep selling. We have a bottom, and then the entry line became green, which means get out of your cells, and then the whole market returned back. This we don't catch. So this is for other traders to catch, or at least not for me, because I'm not trading the pullbacks there. Okay, Euro GBP market also dropped, of course, together with all the euros dropped. So a little bit the same, also in between major minor trend. This session already 30 minutes. I had a pending order here for Euro JPY potentially dropping any further. I see a lot of activity here. Now I know why I don't want to. Basically, Euro JPY, there is a potential that we go all the way here. So there is a really nice drop, like insane drop, even like 1300 pips. But that's definitely another level. So there's a couple of very big high levels that we can look at. For now, there is a chance that this EJ will go down from here till here. It's about 180 pips, so I will definitely uh, keep it red. Let's see this what the pivot levels tell us. Here is a level, Alt H, and then here's a level again. And here's a level again. So these are a couple of levels where you guys can look at. So from the current price, we're talking about 150, 215 to 300 pips drop. That can be happening. Keep an eye on it from the opening of the pivot levels. So if the pivot levels open down here, pivot probably drops as well. We can have a really nice sell-off towards the end of the week. So up to 300 pips here. Maybe just be happy with the first 200, but I will leave that up to you. So there can be a very interesting dip coming up Euro JPY. Still sideways all the time looking to Euro AUD because I want to make sure we don't miss that trade with the right entry. GBP JPY dropping below all the levels, so this is kind of an early sell. Normally it breaks and we make a pullback towards the major level. It didn't do that fully. Sometimes it doesn't. So if it went here and then we go down there, then you would already be selling. About 60 pips to go. So I'm keeping red flag, not a bad idea. We'll manually remove this little guy. Was a little buy, and there's not many other drawings. Oh, there's 23 drawings. Clearly some other levels from before. But for now, GBP JPY potentially dropping here. GBP USD also a bit trapped between major and minor trend lines. So that tells us very quickly that we don't directly want to do something with it. Here we had a trade that went very quickly to take profit, about 40 pips. So remember that. That was Friday. That was nice. So we made a bit of money here, about 40 pips in a very quick sell-off before the market ended actually higher on Friday. But it's a drop. It's a downtrend. I wouldn't sell it unless we are on the right side of the cloud. So sell below the cloud. So for this one is remove drawings. Nothing to see here. GBP CAD, GBP AUD, same as Euro AUD. Very interesting pair. CCI 13, so a bit more negative already. This one's still positive. This one's still 41. It's dropping though, like it's becoming red. So GBP AUD and GBP NZD, a little bit the same as the Euro, have a potential of dropping here a significant amount of pips. This is also 100 pips. So choose the pair that you like the most. But GBP AUD and GBP, it's 100 pips, and here GBP NZD has to first cross pivot level though, but it's also 123 pips, 100 to strong support. So we have really a couple of pairs who are potentially dropping at the same time against the AUD and against the NZD. So this can be a very interesting. They're all 100 pips. I'm marking them all red. Look, Euro AUD, Euro NZD, and the GBP pairs. choose the best one, choose the one who has negative CCI to jump on the trend. This one is the first one, GBP AUD, to actually start dropping under pivot level, a little bit better than here, being above pivot level, can find support there. So GBP AUD at this moment, favorite from the four, based on that the CCI is already negative, just a little bit though. If you see here, we are just moving below that one level, that zero level. Euro AUD second favorite. So Euro or GBP, up to you what you would like to trade. Very quickly, USD CAD. In between levels also. Here's the minor trend line where it went above and now it's hitting the minor trend line. So that's unknown. Up or down. A lot of drop, huge drop actually here on Friday on CAD JPY. 160 pips in a day, very flat straight away after. Bit of money made here, that's good. No stop loss hit. But yeah, this is a very interesting pair. Rise up, and then we had a wedge forming where we broke out to the top. That's why we made a bit of money on the buy here, and now it's back to the end of that wedge. What I mostly do is just delete all those drawings and look at it completely from the start again. So what I see here is, of course, uptrend, pullback, a bit sideways move, bit up again. We are still officially going up. And currently trapped in between major and minor trend. Even though they are both green, the minor trend is going to be red soon. So if it stays here, the minor trend is curving down, it will turn red. And then it's trapped in the middle there. So it's not something we want to do. I want to give a very, very quick look to gold. Gold reached a couple of levels. Here we see all the January, February last years, even the November, December. It's extremely cheap right now. It's currently trading 1724, reached 1680. The low of 2021 is 1675, which was this red line. Was in my predictions the low that we could have gone. Didn't really reach that, but went way under the 1687 that I mentioned a couple of sessions ago as well. As I said, I was not selling anymore, even though our technical analyst was definitely saying sell, sell, sell. And the software was saying it can still go deeper. I did believe it could go deeper, but I also would know that at any certain level, there would have been a very big, there would be a very big potential on such a big recovery. So there are some buy orders at certain levels, and in this case it was 1680 00000, which is exactly what hit. And basically there's just like buy limits, and there are so big buy limits. I calculated this candle, this green candle, in 45 minutes was $3.5 billion in 45 minutes being pumped into gold. So it's a rough estimate, of course, but it was an insane amount of money. The limiting orders here that's saying if it reaches that level, I'm gonna buy. And those limit orders could have been there. They also could have been there. There are definitely orders at 1675. My limit order would be there as well, even though I don't like limit orders. But there are just levels where the market should turn around. Will it go there again? I actually don't know. I am still not buying any gold. I am definitely not selling, but it can go there, or it can go and start to do some recovery, maybe at least 1750 or 1775. Where are you? Like maybe here the extreme overbought level, but 1750 for the first option, to see where we can go at the start of this week. If it starts to become positive on the lower time frames, I might start to take small buys. I'm not yet selling. I would be selling when it breaks the 2021 low and really goes below. So yeah, guys, big overview, 40 minutes. Didn't mean it like that. Silver is basically the same. We are really, really on the cheap side. I've been buying quite some physical silver because it's just undervalued right now. So if you buy physical gold, this is really not a bad time. Anywhere here, you would be buying below the last 1.5 year of prices. So it's really, really not a bad idea to buy physical silver or gold. Okay, back to Euro AUD. Dropping a little bit, but not going too fast. I was keeping my eye on it. GBP AUD also CCI only -8, so it's not going too crazy yet. 45 minutes till London opening, guys. I wish you an amazing week. I hope that this overview was very useful for you guys, and we see each other next week for sure. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye bye.